How am I going to talk about this episode? Hey guys, welcome back to Titans Talk, the series dedicated to DC Universe's Titans. Today we're talking about season number 2, episode number 13, the finale titled Nightwing. I'm going to do my best to keep my thoughts brief as it is 2 a.m. and I am working on having a more in-depth discussion with my friend Hey Archer. I'll leave his channel link down below. He actually already uploaded his video and I've already watched it and I couldn't agree with him more on certain aspects, but we'll get way more into that in the in-depth discussion. But today we're going to be talking about the finale and there's a lot to unpack in this. I'll try and keep it brief. So first of all, let's go ahead and skip all of the crap and just straight out say that this was the most confusing episode I think ever. If you're going to do a series finale, this is the opposite way to do it. They started out with the fight that we've been looking forward to the whole time, which was Slade, aka Deathstroke, versus Nightwing. We finally got the big Nightwing reveal. It was okay. It was essentially the same thing that happened in the trailer, so we pretty much already saw it before it even happened, which is really disappointing. But essentially the big fight that's been built up and hyped and trying to get the train moving for the entire season, 13 episodes, in this finale, it not only happens within the first 15 minutes, it's completely over within the first 15 minutes. And to add insult to injury, not only do they do it so fast, but the editing to it makes zero sense. The geography of the scene was just completely confusing. I don't know if it was an editing issue, which I think that's really what it was. The choreography of the stunts were fine. Dick versus Slade was actually pretty good. The suits looked awesome in motion. Rose ends up joining the fight against Deathstroke to help Dick out, deciding to essentially join the Titans and disband from her father. And so how she does that is just walking across the line, I guess, to the Titans side. We obviously know from previous episode that Jericho is still in Deathstroke, and then they decide to give one of the most badass DC villains one of the most pathetic deaths. I say one of the most pathetic deaths because there actually is one that surpasses it in this episode, which I'll get to in just a minute. But Deathstroke essentially takes a knife to the gut. Jericho transfers himself into Rose, which for some reason was planned, ? That didn't make a whole lot of sense. And Deathstroke just dies with just a single blade to the stomach. One of the most badass characters who has accelerated healing, who has various other attributes, just straight dies with a sword to the stomach, which makes absolutely no sense. And then, again, adding insult to injury, they just sort of look at him and say, he's dead. That's it. They don't check. They don't check for a pulse. They don't check to see if he's still breathing. They look at him, dead body. No sense was put into this. I have no idea what their thought process was. Zero sense whatsoever, and especially in the first 15 minutes, because then they totally flip the script and make it all about Gar, Superboy, and Cadmus. The secondary villains take the spotlight from the primary villain that we've been dealing with the entire season. And that's just kind of a big slap to the face to the people who pay for this app to watch this show. But what else happens in this episode? That's about it. Just the Gar fight. Gar is sent to like this carnival to attack it because he's been brainwashed. Superboy is sent to stop him, although it's just a big ploy by Cadmus to sell super soldiers that are controllable like Superboy. And that's kind of the premise, and then the Titans show up and stop him. Also, Raven develops a new power, which has never been spoken about to this point, which, again, she all of a sudden has control of these powers that have been uncontrollable the entire time. And she develops this healing power, which I don't remember Raven ever having in any way, shape, or form. I could be wrong. But she just never really had this, right? Like, I'm not crazy. And they end up having to transfer Dick into Superboy via Raven in order for him to break down a wall for him to recognize he's not alone, that he can still see the light, aka the Superman side of him, I guess, and be able to escape and essentially escape Cadmus's control, which was fine, I guess, but again, just I have no idea what the writers were thinking the entire time, just no clue. But by far, the cherry on top of the cake, beyond the fighting and all the ridiculous death of Deathstroke, was Donna Troy. So they've been teasing a Titan would fall, and how that Titan fell was something that apparently Donna Troy isn't immune to electricity. She's essentially a god, or at least part god along those lines, and she just can't handle electricity. She has super speed, she has a lasso that can tell the truth, she has super strength, she basically has 99% of everything, but her Achilles heel is electricity, which I was kind of confused at. Yeah, it's fine if you want to hurt her with it, but there was no point of her to die from it. Essentially, there's this scaffolding that's falling after all the action is over. It's just like the wind blew in the right direction, and all of a sudden it started to fall. Dove is trying to get everybody out of the way in the most terrible fashion ever. Instead of spreading them out, she just goes, run straight where it's going to fall. Everybody get in a straight line and run that direction. Don't know why she's a superhero if that's her methods, but I don't even know. She gets them out of the way. The scaffolding's falling, or the whatever thing is falling, has some light on it. Donna Troy uses her super speed, gets Dove out of the way, catches it, and then electrocutes herself to death. And it's sad for no one because that was the dumbest death I've ever seen. I was completely dumbfounded at that scene. I just sat there with my mouth open, not in shock that it happened, just in shock that they killed Donna Troy with electricity. If they flipped the episode to where Deathstroke at the end killed the main villain for the entire season, killed Donna Troy because she was trying to get her revenge essentially for Aqualad, which she never got. She just sort of moved on because the Titans were broken and she was sad, and that was pretty much it. But for her to go out the way she did made zero sense. It had no traction. It was out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure the writers had a dartboard of all of their ideas. They threw the dart. It landed on Donna Troy electrocution. They had one board of characters, one dartboard of ideas of how to kill them. Throw one, Donna Troy. Throw the other, electrocution. Let's make it happen, boys and girls. It just made no sense whatsoever. It was really dumb. And they have a funeral for her. They send her off to Themyscira, which I think was probably the best idea. I don't know why her body would stay in the U.S., Sacramento, or not Sacramento, San Francisco, wherever this is set. I don't even remember at this point. Just have her sent to Themyscira, and for the most random reasons, Raven decides to go with her. Don't know why. She's been resistant to Donna almost the entire time. She had somewhat of a relationship with her, but why she all of a sudden has this need to go to Themyscira with her, and with her body, there's zero explanation. She hasn't figured out her powers, but she also has mastery over new abilities that were never explained. No sense whatsoever. No context, no nothing. Gotta go by. Jason has a nice little appearance from the distance on his motorcycle, says nothing, drives away, brooding. Again, nothing. It made no sense. There was no point to it. There was no point to a lot of the season. It just didn't feel like it had any traction. There's only 1 to 2 good episodes, and that's pushing it. Good ideas, bad execution, I think is a lot of it. I think what a lot of it is shuffling. If you took certain aspects of various episodes, shuffled it out, or rotated different scenes around, you could probably have a decent season with a fairly constructive story. But to have it be so lackluster in a finale that was built up, for characters that people love. It just made no sense. But there's a season 3. We already know the season 3 is coming. It's probably this time next year. Will it be good? I don't even know who's going to make it, to be honest. But DC always has this, kind of has started to build this reputation a little bit of start slow, like molasses slow, and then kind of pick up. It kind of happened that way with Batman vs. Superman and Man of Steel. And then we got like Wonder Woman, and we got Aquaman and Shazam. Things people got behind. But the other ones, they just didn't really care. There was a lot of fumbling. Don't even get me started on Suicide Squad. But DC kind of seems to have that reputation with their live action stuff. And then, as if they wanted to sort of get the ball rolling for next season, they have Blackfire come in this little black ball of goo into this mom's ear. The mom from earlier, whose daughter was in trouble, that Dove pushed out of the way / kind of put more in danger. I think that was the same family. I'm 99% sure. Just randomly gets selected by Blackfire to have the goo go in her ear, and Blackfire just is there now. She sort of takes over her body, but also transforms her face and all that stuff. So it is Blackfire. I guess that's their setup for next season. And also the Titans walking down an alley, all suited and booted. Badass. Maybe some fog effects. And that's about it. But I really don't know where this show is going to go next. Nothing was set up. Nothing was teased other than Blackfire walking in a grocery store parking lot. It was just a very bland season. Was it worth a watch? There's nothing else, maybe. But there's a lot of good content out there. And this one's really difficult to watch sometimes. It's a very tough pill to swallow. Especially for fans like myself. There's so much potential. And they mess it up time after time. I'm going to try and cut myself short because I could probably go on for about 5 hours. Maybe not 5 hours. But I watched this episode one time, and there's just so many thoughts of different things that could have happened, should have happened, that would have made this series way better than it actually is. And hopefully we'll be able to get into that, segue here, into my more in-depth discussion with my buddy Hey Archer, which you can look forward to TBD. We're going to work on it. We're going to be able to have a better discussion about it. But there's so many different things we could talk about. Just make sure you're subscribed to my channel and his, because we're going to have some good content coming out shortly about Titans. I'm sure if this goes well that we even can talk about season 3, which probably won't go well. I don't know, just kind of just not a good feeling that it left me as a fan with. But I have something to look forward to harping on it even more. That's really all my thoughts on the season finale. Like I said, make sure you subscribe to my channel as well as Hey Archer's channel. That's the most exciting part of the video. Not the episode, but me hyping up the discussion that's going to be coming. Make sure you subscribe to me and him. I'll link him down below as well as at the end of the video. Other than that, those are my thoughts on Titans season number 2 finale. Make sure you let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below. If you have seen the video, or not the video, what am I talking about? If you have seen the episode or the season in general, what did you think? How did it go for you? Hopefully better than me and my buddy, because there are people that believe in this show, and what they see, I don't know, but if you're one of them, let me know down below. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a great season of Titans Talk. Hope to be back for season 3, as well as now this kind of frees me up to focus on watching Watchmen and hopefully some more content that's not just these 2 shows. I've kind of been dying to do something else for a little while, and it's finally here. Thank God. Talk about something else. Well, I could before, but I just didn't really have time. So now I have the time. So hopefully look forward to that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one.